Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, dear guests, dear colleagues and students. I'm very pleased to welcome you on behalf of the Ilia State University. First of all, let me begin by thanking all of you for joining us today and for making this international student scientific conference possible. It's a great pleasure for us to host this event. My special thanks go to our guests from several institutions and universities. First of all, French Institute in Georgia, French Embassy, Romanian Embassy, Mr. Ambassador, and the Armenian Embassy should also aspects that will remain later, and all participants, students, PhD students. Just a few words about the importance of this conference and of internationalization of research and teaching activities at ISU, which was one of the important priorities since its opening at Ilia State University in 2006. At that time of developing a new educational and research programs, research activities in Georgia, it was very important for us to share international experience, your best practices, and to engage in large-scale educational and research projects, such as today's conference, your cooperation with several European and post-Soviet countries, universities of Eastern European countries. We are the only university in Georgia that offers PhD level free of charge, but requires from the PhD candidate to publish high quality research articles in an international peer-reviewed, blind peer-reviewed journals. In case of exact life sciences, the students have to publish 2 articles in international peer-reviewed journals with impact factor more than 0.5. In 2017, we developed the first joint PhD program supported by the Short-Term Sovereign National Science Foundation and Volkswagen Stiftung with double degree. This is the first PhD program with double degree in Georgia, and together with Georg August University at Göttingen, Germany. And this year we will start new PhD program also with double degree with University of Münster, Germany. And this project is, PhD program is full supported, full funded by the Volkswagen Stiftung. I'm sure your collaboration, our collaboration with your universities will intensify our international PhD programs and intensify our collaboration. So I will not take up any more of your time. I wish you a fruitful work at this conference and every success in our joint project in future. Thank you once again.
C'était Éléonore Garniès. Avant de passer la parole à Madame Éléonore Garniès, qui est attachée de coopération interuniversitaire à l'Institut français de Géorgie. Donc, Monsieur Pierre Coulouet, qui est le directeur de l'Institut français de Géorgie, il est aussi ensemble de ici, donc il n'a pas pu le lire. Je vous présente aussi Madame Makala Shria, qui est responsable du service de qualité de la faculté des sciences et des arts. Et puis Miranda Lomidze, qui est directrice du collège doctoral des universités d'Europe centrale et orientale en sciences humaines. Elle est professeure à l'université de Kutaisi. Après ces 3 gradation, Carvadon et Éléonore Garniès. Je passe la parole à Madame Éléonore Garniès.
Partenaire, très cher Mzaro. C'est un plaisir pour moi d'être parmi vous aujourd'hui pour l'ouverture de ce colloque scientifique international étudiant Je remercie chaleureusement l'université Ilia et notamment Zaro pour cette invitation. Je tiens également à excuser le directeur de l'Institut français de Géorgie qui est actuellement à Paris pour une mission. Vous savez à quel point il aurait aimé être là aujourd'hui parmi nous. Partout dans le monde, la population estudiantine s'accroît. En France comme en Géorgie, l'accès à l'université se libéralise de plus en plus avec le progrès social et notamment une amélioration constante de l'éducation au niveau secondaire. Cela pose certains défis pour l'enseignement supérieur, pour s'adapter à cette demande qui change de manière quantitative, mais aussi sa nature de par la révolution silencieuse et technologique dont nous sommes les premiers témoins. Ces progrès techniques ouvrent de nouvelles perspectives en matière d'enseignement supérieur et de recherche, facilitant notamment les transferts de connaissances à travers les pays, mais également entre les disciplines, mais surtout en offrant des nouvelles manières de gérer et de créer le savoir, notamment grâce à l'intelligence artificielle. Donner la parole aux étudiants et les inviter à raisonner sur ces défis est une excellente initiative pour promouvoir une discussion inclusive sur l'avenir de l'enseignement supérieur et de la recherche en Géorgie, mais aussi dans toute la région. Je suis très heureuse de voir parmi vous de nombreux étudiants et professeurs, non seulement de Géorgie, mais aussi d'Arménie, de Roumanie et Moldavie. Encore une fois, l'université Ilyas s'illustre comme un fer de lance du dialogue interculturel dans cette région, et notamment par le biais de la francophonie. Voilà, je vous remercie et je vous souhaite à tous de très fructueuses discussions. Merci.
რამდენად მნიშვნელოვანია სტუდენტების ჩართულობა კვლევით საქმიანობაში. აქამდე თუ ვამბობთ, რომ სტუდენტებმა უნდა ისწავლონ, ახლა მთავარია, რომ სტუდენტები ჩაერთონ კვლევით საქმიანობაში. რამდენად ლიბერალური გახდა სასწავლო პროცესი, როგორ გაიზარდა ურთიერთობები უნივერსიტეტებს შორის თანამედროვე ტექნოლოგიების წყალობით, რომელიც გაძლევს საშუალებას, რომ ურთიერთობა გქონდეთ არა მხოლოდ თქვენს კოლეგებთან ქვეყნის შიგნით, არამედ ქვეყნებს შორისაც. და ძალიან მოხარული ვარ მე პირადად თავდადიწყებულმა ხაზი გავუსვა იმ ფაქტს, რომ ილიას უნივერსიტეტი ყოველთვის არის მოწინავეთა რიგებში და რომ ხელს უწყობს ასეთ ურთიერთობებს ილიას უნივერსიტეტი და განსაკუთრებით ფრანკოფონული მიმართულებით და ფრანკოფონის ხარჯ. მეგონი მოკლედ თქვი ყველაფერს. Ეხლა სიტყვას გადავცემ ქალბატონ მაკალაშხიას, რომელიც გახლავთ, როგორც გითხარით, მეცნიერებათა და ხელოვნების ფაკულტეტის ხარისხის უზრუნველყოფის სამსახური.
ჩვენთვის ძალიან დიდი პატივი არის მივესალმო საერთაშორისო კონფერენციის მონაწილეებს, სტუმრებს, ორგანიზატორებს. მე როგორც ფაკულტეტის ხარისხის სამსახურის უფროსი უფრო აი ამ კუთხით გავაკეთებ აქცენტს კონფერენციის მნიშვნელობაზე და არ გავიმეორებ იმასაც ჩემ წინა გამომსვლელებმა თქვეს. ფაკულტეტზე ჩვენ გვაქვს კონფერენციები, მაგრამ ეს არის სტუდენტური კონფერენციები, კონკრეტული მიმართულების შიგნით. მსგავსი კონფერენცია პირველი არის უნივერსიტეტში და ამისათვის ძალიან დიდი მადლობა ქალბატონ ზაღოს, იმიტომ რომ ამის ორგანიზებაში ძალიან დიდი ენერგია და ასე ვთქვათ, სულისკვეთება არის ჩაგებული და როგორც მომხსენებდი წინა გამოსვლებმა აღნიშნეს, ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი არის, რომ სტუდენტები არა მხოლოდ სალექციო კურსის ფარგლებში, არამედ სალექციო კურსების გარეთაც ჩავთვათ კვლევებში და ეს კონფერენცია ამის შესაძლებლობას იძლევა. საერთაშორისო კონფერენცია კიდევ უფრო მეტ შესაძლებლობას იძლევა, რომ გავეცნოთ სხვა ქვეყნების წარმომადგენლების კვლევებს, გავცვალოთ იდეები, გავცვალოთ გამოცდილებები და დავგეგმოთ შემდგომი ღონისძიებები, შემდგომი შეხვედრები და ასე შემდეგ. მართლაც უნიშნულოვანესი ფაქტი არის არა მხოლოდ ილიას უნივერსიტეტისთვის, არამედ ზოგადად ქვეყნისთვის და ზოგადად ფრანკოფონიის ცენტრებისთვის, იმიტომ რომ აი ამ კვლევებით რაღაცნაირად დაიწყება ეტაპი, როდესაც ჩვენთან უნივერსიტეტში ფრანგულად მოლაპარაკებ, ფრანგული ასე ვთქვათ, ფარგლ ტექსტებთან სიახლოვით და ალბათ კიდე სხვა ტექსტებთანაც რატომაც არა, აი ამით უკვე ჩვენ რაღაცნაირად ძალიან დიდ ნაბიჯს გადავდგამთ წინ და ეს წინ გადადგმული ნაბიჯი, კვლევაში წინ გადადგმული ნაბიჯი კიდევ ერთი დასტური არის იმისა, რომ ჩვენ ამდრილად აქ ვქმნით ცოდნას და მეცნიერებას. კიდევ ერთხელ ძალიან დიდი მადლობა, განსაკუთრებული მადლობა ქალაქ ზაღოს, იმიტომ რომ ამის ასეთი ამგვარი ორგანიზება კონფერენციის არის საკმაოდ რთული. მით უმეტეს როდესაც ამდენ მონაწილეს ვიწევთ სხვა ქვეყნებიდან და მინდა რომ აი ეს აქ არ გაჩერდეს, იყოს სულ ესე მრავალწლიანი, ყოველწლიური უბრალოდ და დიდხანს გაგრძელდეს. ძალიან დიდი მადლობა.
En français, ce que Mme Makalachia nous a dit. Elle a souligné comme donc responsable du service de qualité, elle a voulu parler justement de l'importance de l'inclusion des étudiants dans la recherche. Elle a souligné plusieurs fois que nous avons à la faculté des sciences et des arts la tradition d'organiser chaque année des colloques par discipline. Mais c'est la première fois qu'à l'université, on réunit les étudiants venus de différents pays d'Europe pour organiser le premier colloque scientifique international des étudiants. Elle a particulièrement souligné l'importance de l'inclusion des étudiants dans la recherche dès la première année et elle espère que ça va devenir une tradition d'organiser des colloques comme ça dans le pays et surtout à l'université de Ilia. Et que ce type de colloque vous permet d'avoir un accès à des textes en français et de faire aussi vos communications en français et bien dans d'autres langues aussi, bien sûr. Alors, je vous présente maintenant Mme Yolanda Morizet, qui est professeure à l'université de Koutaïssi, à l'université académique de Koutaïssi, et qui est directrice du collège doctoral régional francophone en sciences humaines pour les universités d'Europe centrale et orientale. Je vous dis déjà que ce collège réunit 15 universités de la région d'Europe centrale et orientale, et c'est la troisième directrice maintenant depuis que le collège existe, depuis 2012.
Merci. Je vous salue, mes collègues que j'ai eu la chance de faire connaissance en Roumanie. Je suis très heureuse de vous voir ici, à Tbilissi. მოგესალმებით, ძალიან ბედნიერი ვარ აქ რომ ვარ და ვარ მონაწილე ამ რაღაც ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანი მოვლენის, რადგან ნამდვილად დარწმუნებული ვარ, რომ დღეს ჩაერყება საფუძველი აი ამ საერთაშორისო სტუდენტურ კონფერენციას, რომელსაც ჯერჯერობით ნამდვილად გვაქვს საქართველოში ანალოგი და ალბათ 2 წელიწადში ერთხელ ყველა სტუდენტს ექნება საშუალება შეიკრიბოს და კვლევით საქმიანობაში ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანია არ მხოლოდ სტუდენტი უნდა მოეგზადოს კვლევის საქმიანობისათვის, ამიტომ ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანია ის ყველაფერი, რაც დღეს ეხლა აქ ხდება. და განსაკუთრებით ამ ყველაფერს მეტ მნიშვნელობას ძენს ის, რომ ეს არ არის ლოკალური, ვიწრო და ეს არის საერთაშორისო, ანუ პირველივე მცდელობა იყო საკონფერენციო ესეთი წარმატებული. მინდა ასევე გითხრათ, რომ ძალიან ბედნიერი ვარ, რომ ხედავ ჩემს ქუთაისელ სტუდენტებს და ესეც ძალიან მნიშვნელოვანია, არ მხოლოდ უცხოელები, არამედ სხვადასხვა ქალაქის სტუდენტების ერთმანეთთან კომუნიკაცია, ურთიერთგაცვლა და ასე შემდეგ. გილოცავთ, წარმატებულ გამოსვლებს გისურვებთ და მომავალ შეხვედრამდე. Donc, j'ai souligné l'importance de ce colloque car c'est le premier colloque international des étudiants en Géorgie, donc c'est très important et peut-être ce sera une grande tradition qui va durer pendant des années. Donc, je vous remercie d'être ici et je vous souhaite une bonne continuation. Merci.
Je vais remercier remercie vivement vraiment de s'être intéressé à ce colloque et de bien vouloir saluer aussi les représentants de Roumanie qui participent à ce colloque. Et je vous dis d'ores et déjà que nous avons donc les représentants de 2 universités roumaines, 8 représentants de 2 universités arméniennes et puis les représentants de 7 universités géorgiennes à ce colloque. Donc c'est à la fois international et local aussi, si on peut dire comme ça. Donc, et je passe la parole à son Excellence, Monsieur l'ambassadeur de Roumanie.
Merci beaucoup, Madame. Good morning. I prefer to speak English, even if my French is not so good, but still working so many years in Geneva helped me to control this language. The Ilyas State University had this initiative to gather young people to discuss about the future, how we are going to approach that. That's important. It's related to our culture, it's related to the way we have been growing and studies, it's relating to what we intend to do in our future. Will we start to follow an academic career, a business career, or whatever? So it's a very, very difficult change. I had a change this morning in the embassy. The pipe has burst. And, well, my challenge was how to do it. How to go to the embassy and also to be here. Try to meeting you and discuss about this very important topic. Another challenge was when I left the embassy, what I should do. I don't know. My time. That's another challenge. Let's say it's an issue when we're approaching this kind of topics of, let's say, options. How I would opt for a certain solution in a certain situation. I said, okay, I'm coming to South Thai. Why? Because we are young people. I was a student also. And I remember how difficult it was for me, you know, to have a tie, especially during the exam. But nevertheless, I'm happy to be here. Changes. Well, that's a fantastic opportunity for you all, because you are coming more or less from different environments. Some of you, most of you probably are from Georgia. Some are from Armenia, if I understand, some are from Romania. And clearly the way or the environment we are living into is going to shape a bit our mentality. Talking about challenges, we have actually to talk about vulnerability. And vulnerability is actually a perception. What I'm feeling is vulnerable for me, and what would, at a certain moment, put myself, my family, my community, my people, my country in a, let's say, difficult situation. That's security, is what they are calling security. And for the 21st century, if we think about what happened in the 20th century, what happened in these first 20 years of the new century, clearly it's a very complicated and confusing image. What is going to be the change of the 21st century? So also because, you know, after we entered and the Cold War has ended, we see multiplication of conflicts. It is not something which is huge at global level, but we see them more and more. We see them starting from different angles. Could be religious, could be economics. What we see is no ideology. Unlike during the 20th century, there is not anymore an ideology which is behind different politics, which is behind different, let's say, ways war and conflict between. We see that instead of having a much more united humanity, because we are having today technologies which allow us to speak with each other, to get in contact faster. Our world today is much more expanded than the world it was in the 70s when I started, to go to school. It's much bigger. Today we look at the phone and see what's happening in Australia, Nick, not only Europe, in our region, or let's say in the countries which are considered big countries. But you see also, these technologies, instead of helping us in communication for a peaceful coexistence and living, are becoming instruments which are bringing communities in conflict. Domestic conflict, international conflicts. So that's a challenge. How we are going to regulate these issues? Second, we have different manifestations of so-called crises. And all crises are fundamental. For politicians, crises are fundamental. And of course, the line they want to induce to the electorate, to the population in the country they are living, and the end game of this creative crisis or the political expression is power, or getting power, how we control society. And well, we tend, because we are bombarded every day, to forget that in many crises there are opportunities. Because of our technology, because of our education systems, we forget this and we do not find the opportunities. It could be good opportunities, bad opportunities for the society. But by the end of the day, we are humans. And despite all crises, some which are real, some which are artificial, probably one which is important for the whole humanity, because we are human beings, is actually habitat and food. By the end of the day, you can live without clothes, you find a way, to live in the space around us, the evening, outside, outdoor. But what about food? What about the environment in which we are living? And unfortunately, we are destroying this planet since a long time. So maybe climate change is an important issue that we need to mobilize us all. The fact that people are not fed and have problems in getting food, which is essential for life, is a source of conflict. It had been at the beginning of humanity, still is, and the risk to have this kind of conflict is very, very huge. So from here probably we are having many other crises. Migration is a crisis. So what is the solution? I don't know. I'm working on that. And of course I might have some ideas, but I think that probably the best thing is the fact that you have been gathered together and you have the possibility to discuss. By the end of the day, of this day, I hope you are going to discover that even if a topic is to be discussed in a very peaceful way, everybody trying to identify a topic, identify a direction, and at the same time having the confrontation of ideas, talking, and bringing into the discussions your own experiences is probably one of the most difficult situations in which you young people could be put. Because unfortunately, the other way is hate speech, yelling at each other, trying not even to hear, but to understand what the other is saying. And unfortunately, we see that more and more in our societies. I do not want to enter into a discussion. I would like to participate in a discussion on of the politically correct. Today, unfortunately, we see many societies, including my country, the fact that nobody, especially in the political life, is listening to the other or is trying to understand the other. There is this big risk of the exercise of democracy, of the politically correctness. It starts from the very beginning, trying to improve the way the society is developing or is oriented. By the end of the day, we discover we have created fundamentals. Look back into history. There have been very good things that happened, which unfortunately turned bad at the end, because people, and especially in the society, the politicians or the rulers, decided that this is the way everybody has to think. Everybody has to speak. So we just can't be all together, all countries, in a system which fortunately collapsed. But for that, many people have to suffer and have to die. We have, and we want to build democratic societies. We keep together and bringing with us the experience we had in school, the experience we had in our family. And everybody wants, to build democracy, wants to build into a democratic society. In some cases, there are genuine values. In other case when democracy was, let's say, direction, the name which was decided by somebody else, we are living in situations of mimicking democracy. And here we have to make a difference between shapes and content. It is not enough to have a legislation to adopt a model of society or a state or a country that looks like a country, other countries that are considered all-time democracies. It's not like that. I don't know if somebody told you, democracy is acceptable. You have to exercise it every day, in order to become something which is natural for our human substance. And this starts with the people around us, trying to be better in relation with their people. And it is not easy, because sooner or later somebody, even in our families, will disagree with us. So here we have to find solutions, go over this kind of crisis, petty crisis in our family, but bigger crisis in case of the communities, larger communities of people when you are living. So I would advise at the end to take into consideration the fact that history is an excellent argument in many discussions and promoting our position in a setting like yours. But I want also to remind you one thing. We, every day,
myself, my family, every individual in my family, we are doing history every day. What we are doing is history. This is why, and that's every day. Maybe we are not very conscious of this, but what we are doing has influence. It is not true that the individual has no influence. Important people have influence. No. Every day. Our well-being, our welfare, collective welfare, depends on each of us. So, try to think about this, try to take it on board, try to educate your family and your team, and every evening think about so far been impression, what have been done good. Not for me, for what have been done good. I'm satisfied. I done something which is good. I help somebody. So, you know, all these drops of history makes the history of a nation and makes the history of. Thank you very much indeed.
მოგესალმებით. მაქვს პატივი გამოაცხადო გასვლა ჩვენი პლანების სესია და გადავცი სიტყვა ილიას უნივერსიტეტის სტუდენტური სერვისების ხელმძღვანელს ბატონ ფაკულტეტის.
Hello, dear professors, dear guests of our country and our university. Aussi, bonjour les Français. J'ai étudié français à l'école. J'ai oublié un peu, mais j'aime cette langue very much. Okay. For me, it's an honor to be here and to discuss with you 21st century challenges. So let's begin. Our era is very different from the one that existed before. We live in the fast developing and changing world, and that's all about changing traditional access to information to limitless access. That is called the internet. Creation of spreading information or knowledge has never been so simple. This, along with other benefits, leads to technological change and development, which in turn change our everyday life. Every year we see disappearing professions, and also we see new ones. New professions are connected with new skills, different skills, and challenges. We must recognize that we live in a rapidly changing world where the skills of understanding and acceptance of the change and the processing of creatively are becoming the most important. Also, static knowledge loses importance, and it is replaced by the skills of creatively and efficiently obtaining knowledge. We can say that the role and the mission of universities have always been creating, sharing, and applying the knowledge, which in turn will have a positive impact on the community and promotes its development. In the digital era, the character, pace, and quality of everything are changing. So universities are facing great challenges. They should follow the scale and pace, one moment, of this change, because teachers who can't adapt to new reality are not effective and can't teach students and can't teach them to overcome their real-time barriers. The educational institution must help develop 21st century skills to the students in order to make them competitive in the future. Therefore, it is essential that university and all its members must have a common understanding of vision, where we are, what we need, and what we should do to offer the quality of students' life. Today, all top universities have two main directions. On the other hand, they create knowledge. This is the direction of research and science. And on the other hand, they create a wide range of opportunities to maximize student success. This success have two goals. One, to create a good employee, and the other, to create a good employer. And also it's important to know who are our students. They are old millennials and also young generations. This is a transitive generation whose childhood was not so much connected to technologies as the present first or second grade students. Today kids are already digital natives because they are born in the era of internet, digital world, and there is a question: what will be in 2013 when these kids will graduate universities and will have a degree? Competition becomes huge. They will become competitors of our current students. It's clear that our responsibility is increasing so. In my report, I will talk about programs and activities that Ileoni offers to its students. In our opinion, very competitive and future-oriented opportunities. I will tell you about the functions and the services of the DSA, Department of Student Affairs, at Ilia State University, and try to show you our vision and the connection with the challenges I've talked now. So each era has its own challenges and requires different skills to overcome them. Today, when the job market is changing rapidly, we can say that the most important skills are connected to change management. We all know well that most demanded professional competencies become less subject specific. Writing projects, communication, teamwork, technological skills, critical thinking, and other competencies are equally significant all across different fields. For clear demonstration, I will pick one of the most well-known models for today's guide and remind you 4C, to which our services are closely connected. The 4C, also called as learning skills, and they are the most famous and necessary skills of the 21st century. Their uniqueness is that they are necessary for any direction of career. You see this 4C. This is communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and creativity. Our department, Special Structural Unit, Ileoni Student Affairs Department, has been created for the purpose of providing students with required information, ensuring their active involvement in the university life, and providing interesting and eventful university life and educational experience, as well as ensuring effective communication between administration and the students. So what are we doing and where is their 4C? Within the career development services, the Department of Student Affairs organizes many activities. The overall goal and the starting point is to develop students' self-efficacy and give them access to information that opens a variety of possibilities. Since the date when this services become part of the department, this was in 2017, January, we have been working to create two kinds of databases: employers and students. Our employer base today includes over 400 small, medium or large companies and the contacts of their HR managers. We are working to establish direct communication and friendly cooperation with them and trying to understand their real requirement and requirement of private sector. After that, to connect them directly to our students. On the other hand, we have a program called UniJobs, where students must fill in the form where they indicate their own interests. So the information they receive is adequate and not junk. For now, there are about 7,000 students registered on this database. In the first half of 2019, we organized a one-month employment forum, which included 130 companies and 27 events. Some workshops, trainings for interviewing techniques, effective presentation, writing a good resume, meeting with companies' heads, and what's important, employment forum, where companies must have been presented with active vacancies. During the term, we organized 60 individual employment days in which we hosted various companies. These activities include exclusive employment opportunities for Ileoni students. Every day, in partnership with the companies, we search student-friendly vacancies and send it to the students with a relevant interest. In the first half of 2019, up to 450 vacancies have been sent. We are trying to find out more about demands from companies, and afterward we do the primary selection. We are trying to help students to meet some requirements. And on the other hand, we know that the problem is that companies do not have a long time to choose the applicants, so we try to make their choice easier. So we help more than 100 students in this semester. Students are aware that they can anytime contact us and get consultation. In all directions, we use several communication channels, and they can use them. Through these activities, students have the opportunity to learn about the job market, their real requirement, work style, needs, and so students will know cooperation standards and will be ready for career steps. This is how they can develop communication and collaboration skills. Next is sport. The goal of the Ilis State University and the Student Affairs Department is to promote a healthy lifestyle with sport activities. That makes it more simple for students to socialize, to engage in teamwork, to set and achieve some common goals. By covering their sport interests beyond the academic setting, we get a satisfied student who has more emotional attachment than before. So we get also increased motivation of students. In order to achieve this goal, the department organizes some internal competitions in football, baseball, volleyball, and in total 9 championships. In this semester, for about 1,000 students were involved in these activities. Department of Student Affairs manages sports teams. They are successfully participating in national student competitions and also in professional leagues. We have sport teams in futsal, basketball, volleyball, both boys and girls, and rugby. Our support culture, Sport Fan Club, is really worth mentioning, which creates a very positive situation and united our team, students and members of administration. Any students in university, club, or other students initiative group has the opportunity to create and submit a project to finance. In the half of this year, we received more than 100 requests, and out of 88.5% were financed. Creativity, critical thinking, collaboration and communication, overcoming the fear of the novelty, taking challenges of yourself, experience of project writing, team management skills, creativity and critical thinking. These all stuff are the benefits of students who are motivated to create and organize some projects of their interests. Also worth mentioning that this motivated the students meet each other and do this job together. In process, they do mistakes and learn from it, and this is okay. From the introduction of the project, we help students to improve various formal and practical parts in order to eventually be able to implement it. So we have this percent of approval. This is our students' clubs. And what about our projects? In coordination with other units and the faculties, we organize lots of targeted projects that are based on 4C, and most importantly aims to enhance the networking opportunities of most successful students. I will drink water now. Participation in this project is competition-based. Only the most motivated students are selected, whom we provide latest updates, share competencies, give assignments which are tied to real-life jobs, and promote teamwork. These projects include, for example, tour mode. This is about tourism. It's Georgia about advertising. Debate club, model union conferences, project care, which covers tourism, environmental studies, and agriculture. Unilab, which gives students possibility to acquire a so-called future profession, and many other. This is a promo of Project Care, and if you watch this video, you will catch this 4C. You saw the 4C or no? Okay. Despite this motivation and great team spirit of my department, challenges are part of our everyday life. That we are constantly trying to realize, analyze, and find the approach and the solution of these challenges. Challenges on one hand are related to the growing demands of the students, and on the other hands the dynamic of the employment markets. It should also be noted that the special challenge and also the advantages of our services are that the entire university is involved in the implementation of each of these projects, and therefore the efficiency of every unit is vital. We believe that the most powerful part of our team is the full-time openness and friendly communication with students, which help us to do our best to realize their potential and develop student self-efficacy. Thank you for your attention.
Je ne sais pas si je dois résumer, là vous allez voir si j'étais une bonne élève ou pas, mais il me semble que la communication de M. Kafakabonadze, c'était de vous présenter les défis du XXIe siècle pour les universités, vous présenter également des stratégies concrètes et des actions qui ont été mises en place pour rendre les étudiants de l'université d'État Ilia plus autonomes, plus forts sur le marché professionnel, de développer l'esprit critique. Vous avez vu la vidéo qui était une bonne démonstration de ce que l'université propose aux élèves et les valeurs qu'elle porte. C'est tout. Maintenant, si vous voulez bien poser des questions, on peut ouvrir la discussion. If you have any questions, it's now or never. So, des questions peut-être. Et trois autres Marawiska.
თქვენი დეპარტამენტის ურთიერთობა სხვა უნივერსიტეტების შესაბამის დეპარტამენტებთან ერთობლივი რაიმე პოლიციური მაგდაგები და
იცით როგორ არის საქართველოში ჩვენი სტრუქტურული ერთეულები ამ სოფლის სამყარო უნივერსიტეტებში საკმაოდ სუყედ არის ასე ვთქვათ. საქართველოში შეიძლება ითქვას რომ ჩვენ ყველაზე განვითარებულები ჩვენ ვართ, ანუ ილიას უნივერსიტეტში არის ეს დეპარტამენტი ყველაზე ესეთი ძლიერი ასე ვთქვათ სხვა უნივერსიტეტებთან შედარებით. შესაბამისად ერთადერთი გადაკვეთა რასაც გვაქვს ხოლმე არის უფრო ეს სპორტული ვთქვათ ღონისძიებები, სადაც ერთმანეთს ვეჯიბრებთ შეიძლება. დანარჩენი ანუ ისეთი სტრუქტურა როგორც ჩვენ გვაქვს და ჩვენი სტრუქტურა თანხმედაში არის წამყვანი უნივერსიტეტების სტრუქტურებთან, ანუ სხვა უნივერსიტეტებში ნაკლებად არის, ან ნაკლები სერვისები აქვს, ან ნაკლები ხარდაჭერა უნივერსიტეტისგან და შესაბამისად არის როგორ არის, ანუ ჩვენ რასაც ვაკეთებთ, რა ხარისხითაც ვაკეთებთ, იმ ხარისხით არ მუშაობთ. თორე გამოკვლეული ყავს ყველა, ანუ კვლევას როდესაც ვატარებდით, ანუ ყველა თითქმის ყველა წამყვანი უნივერსიტეტის მსგავსი ფუნქციები მქონე დეპარტამენტები შევისწავლეთ და ანუ მასში ვნახეთ, რომ ან ხარდაჭერა არ აქვს ამ მასშტაბების ასე ვთქვათ, საქართველოს. ან შეიძლება ეს გეუბნები
Peut-être que je vais traduire la première question, sinon je vais lire. Pour la traduction pour les francophones, après je ne pourrai pas le faire en anglais, c'est sûr. La question posée par Madame Zaro, c'était est-ce qu'il y a une collaboration avec les autres universités dans les mêmes types de projets. La réponse était que les autres universités ne possèdent pas d'une structure du même genre. Les seules collaborations qu'on a pu faire, c'était dans le domaine de sport, quand il y a des compétitions sportives. Mais sinon, les autres universités n'ont pas les mêmes projets et les raisons Ils n'ont pas la même structure que l'université Ilia. Et il n'y a pas de département consacré à ce genre de choses. Donc il y a des clubs d'étudiants ou des gestion étudiante. Donc il y a quelque chose, mais ce n'est pas vraiment sous la forme d'un département officiel.
ამას გაგრძელება არ ჩემს კითხვას. უნივერსიტეტს აქვს ურთიერთობა დაახლოებით 50 მილიონის სხვადასხვა უნივერსიტეტებთან. აი, საზღვარგარეთ თუ არის მსგავსი ურთიერთობები, ამერიკული პროექტები რაიმე. Თქვენ თქვით, რომ საზღვარგარეთის განვითარებულია საქართველოში მაგრამ და აი იქ თუ და ამ შეკითხვას იმიტომ რომ როდესაც გვაქვს საშუალება ჩვენ ქართულ უნივერსიტეტებთანაც და უცხოურ უნივერსიტეტებთანაც გარკვეული თანამშრომლობა დავამყაროთ ამ მიმართულებით.
La
suite de la question, c'est donc dans les universités géorgiennes, il n'y a pas des départements du même genre, mais est-ce que l'université d'État Ilia collabore avec les universités occidentales, européennes ou étrangères, qui peut-être possèdent une même organisation?
C'est სტუდენტთა საქმეთა დეპარტამენტის სხვადასხვა ფუნქციებით დატვირთვა მოხდა დაახლოებით 2016 წლიდან. დღევანდელ დღემდე საკმაოდ ბევრი დიდი ეფექტი არის ნამუშევრების თუ შევადარებთ წინა წლებს ყოველ წელს წინა წელთან. და შეიძლება ითქვას, რომ აქამდე მუშაობით იმაზე, რომ ჩვენი სტრუქტურა გაგვემართა, ეს სერვისები გაგვემართა და ისე რომ ყველა სტუდენტს თანაბრად მიიღო ეს სერვისები.
Donc, pour résumer, je ne vais pas faire vraiment la traduction. Ce département existe depuis 2016 et le premier objectif c'était de perfectionner les services et de le démocratiser pour que ça soit accessible à tous les étudiants. Sûr.
შესაბამისად ერთადერთი საერთაშორისო უნივერსიტეტთან რა კომუნიკაციაც გვაქვს არის ამ სტრუქტურული მათი წყობა და ამ გადაწყვეტილების მიღების პროცესი და ამ ეს პროცესი როგორ აქვს დაალაგებული ესეც შეიძლება დისტანციურად თუ გქონია კომუნიკაცია ამ exchange პროგრამებში თუ მიუღიათ ჩვენ თანამშრომლობის მონაწილეობა ილიას საფმოქმედებზე და იქ თუ მიგვიღია ესეთი უკავშირი.
Donc pour l'instant, de nos jours, la seule collaboration c'est au niveau des échanges d'étudiants ou
Tam distanțiurat,
des échanges à distance
ძალიან კარგია რომ შეგვიძლია ვთქვათ საუბარი იმაზე რომ საერთო პროექტები ვაკეთებთ იმიტომ რომ აქეთ ბევრი იდეა არის დამრევლებული გამოცდილებაც არის ასე თუ ისე სხვადასხვა მიმართულებები და სხვა უნივერსიტეტების გამოცდილებას და ასევე საერთო ინტერესის გამონახვა ძალიან ჩვენთვისაც საინტერესო და პრიორიტეტული იქნება ეს.
Mais l'université reste ouverte pour des nouveaux projets parce que nous sommes ouverts à toute initiative et à la collaboration.
Surtout avec les universitaires représentées déjà ici à ce colloque. Bon,
pensez-y.
Voilà, déjà une proposition de se mettre en coopération avec le département avec les universités arméniennes, roumaines, géorgiennes, d'autres universités géorgiennes, etc. Avec un travail de coordonnées de pour établir une coopération. J'espère que vous avez caché Bon.
Merci.